Hello, folks. Just waiting for all of you to come join me here. I just sent Val the link, so hopefully she's not going to have any difficulties and she'll be able to join us and we'll take it from there. But man, oh man, energy is shifting. Energy is doing some stuff. Let me, okay, there we go. Just fix something. So hello, Laura Hammond Davis. Thanks for being here. I didn't even put anything in the description or there you are.
Here I am, everyone.
Yes.
This is the stable connection. I'm the weak connection. But yeah, I'm sorry we had to do this, everyone, but I'm going to have to buy a better, a different microphone because something is happening, or the connector that the USB port it's connecting into. But so today and yesterday, crazy energy, as Marina had mentioned. And, you know, for me, I felt very energized, but spacey. I couldn't stop myself from doing a million different things and floating around and doing this and doing that and doing this. Like I'm in the flow. But at the same time, it's like frenzied energy. It's like kinetic energy. It's all kind of a whole pool of all of that. But but you're feeling connected, but you're not feeling grounded.
Exactly. And you know what? I think that that the shift is starting to happen. So what I think what all of us are picking up on is each other's energy. And because we're kind of vibrating a little high, it intensifies it. News is about to come down. Things are about to happen. It's like the day before Christmas, right?
It's something big, but I also feel at the same time how we're feeling is about bigger and more energy coming in suddenly. And maybe I don't know if it's astrologically or what is the making all this happen now, but it's definitely going to shift us, I believe, permanently in some way. Everything, because if all of us and some people in the chat are also feeling this, then I know I'm not just making this up as far as how powerful this is, how powerful this timing is, and what's happening with these energies, because that connectivity that we feel and that flow, like we're moving from one thing to another and to another and to another, and maybe we're not sitting down doing but our head is spinning and we're so absolutely. And what do I get? The card is divine order. So this is, beautifully in divine order, right? So with that grounding. And what were the cards that you got, Marina? I mean, what was your part of the whole?
Just give me a second while I do this. I want to be. Come on. Okay, I'll fix my phone here in a minute. Okay, so what I pulled from the Sisterhood of the Seers Oracle, and I started off with the Seer of Change. The Seer of Change, and the message here is surrender, acceptance, fortitude. I then went to focus on self-care.
Oh man,
the last card that I got was activate the sisterhood.
Oh man.
So this is
meant for, actually. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
this is meant for all of us to, we're, we're in
It's
this
like we're
together.
coming. It's like we're coming online even
Yes.
more. I don't know. That's
Yes.
how what it felt like. In as frenzied
Yes.
as I was, and as kinetic and moving around as I was, the feeling was that we that it was like ramped up energy that we're getting, that we are, that
Yes.
we are more of our own. But now we've got to figure out how to use it, because we got to ground down, ground in, and um, settle it down, settle it down to
Yes.
right.
Absolutely. And look at this. Lauren Hunsinger said, Stephen Burns made a video about the sun flares and earthquakes today. He says it affects the body all. He said our personal energies can be impacted 5 times more than
Oh,
normal.
I'm on board for that. I am saying
Yes.
that's definitely part of what happened, but there's also this feeling that um, of connectivity. I don't know how to
Yes.
explain it. It is that higher connection, and it's very even more powerful. It's like nothing's in the way of that
Yes.
higher connection. And in fact, I didn't even sit down and meditate. I said, "Guides, what do you want to talk about?"
Now,
And
yeah,
they said grounding. So, yeah,
yeah,
I am feeling.
absolutely. So the good news is none of us are crazy. We're all in this together.
None of us are
And
crazy.
yes, yeah. So just, yeah, remember to stay grounded as much as you possibly can, and then rely on your sisters to help you. Rely on your sisters to, whether it's just for encouragement, whether it's for helping ground each other, whatever it is. So ground, yeah, focus on self-care. So that means if you feel like having a nap, go have a nap,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And do things that sustain you. If you want to go outside, go outside.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, because
Absolutely.
we are the seers of change. We're the ones that have been telling everyone for how long now? It's coming. It's coming. It's
Yes.
coming.
Yeah.
And some listened and others said, oh yeah, so's Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Right.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
yes, Debbie, you know what? Crazy is a state of mind, right? So,
Crazy is a state of mind. Yeah.
yeah.
This kind of change and shift in all the planetary um, kind of experiences that are going on, whether it's earthquakes or solar flares or whatever's going on, those really are, you have to look at them. Well, you don't have
Yeah.
to, but it's good to look at them as part of the whole mechanism of all,
Absolutely.
because that's why the planets, the planetary alignments, all of it syncing together and flowing together
Yes.
to create this that we're experiencing today. So
Absolutely.
in that, it is part of our awakening process, the whole thing, and you can't exclude it. You've got to include it. And
Absolutely.
I think that's the most important thing. And when I pulled divine order, this is all divine order. And it is about alchemy. And what is alchemy? That is shifting and
Yes.
changing energy from one thing, or things from one thing to another.
To
Well,
another.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah, you're shifting energies. You're transforming. And it is an adventure. They need for us to get a little excited and have some fun now.
Yes.
Plus manifestation. You can manifest like crazy now. But the
Yes.
main message was, and it's funny that imagination came up, but
Yes.
the main thing is that now that all of this energy is coming in, we're going to really have to pay attention to our grounding. And it must have been 3 or 4 times today that I stopped and I pulled in the white light. I grounded myself into into Mother Earth, and
Yes.
I pulled Mother Earth's energy up and like a fountain out my crown, let that emerald green energy, just to anchor, just to pull me down and anchor me down. And in some ways, I could feel that, but the frequencies are so high right now and so frenetic, like my brain's going. It's like getting 10 million downloads at one time, kind of a feeling. Your mind can't settle because there's stuff happening that is beyond your ability to see right now, but it's happening. Like
yes,
downloads.
absolutely. And you know what? We're getting closer to that time when all that frenetic energy is going to be normal. We're going to be able to handle it.
Yes.
Right now, it feels a little odd because that's not what we're used to. But yeah, we'll be able to do that. And I just quickly want to say hello to everyone who has joined us here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Just very quickly, Joan Baker, Rose Blue, Chris Cassidy, Amy Kircher, Debbie Smith, Lauren Huntsinger, artist Liz, Danielle Martin, I hope I didn't miss, Barb P., Sandy Johnson, Laura Hammond Davis. And for those of you that are just sitting back and observing, that's okay. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to lurk, right?
You can.
And Catherine Rodier, hello. And before I forget, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, to Val's channel. And I didn't have a chance to put anything in the description, but just type into YouTube, Val Dragonfly Crystals. Her channel will come up. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay. All right. Business out of the way. And hello, Laura Carlo.
And don't forget to book a reading with Marina. And you can go to marinasheartcenteredtarot.com and you can book readings and classes there, fabulous classes. So definitely do that. So
thank you. Yes,
same thing. It's really important in this energy now. Grab all the opportunities and run with them. Don't hold yourself back. Oh, I can't, because no, you can, and do it. Okay.
Absolutely. Hey, look, nice to see you here. Hello, Teresa. So yes, and do the same thing over on Val's channel. You check out Val's dragonflycrystals.store, and you'll have a plethora of information there and things that you can sign up for, that you can get into. And same thing with Val. Book yourself in for a reading. And I guarantee you, I have yet to encounter anyone who has had a reading from Val or a reading from me, or maybe some of the other readers out there as well, who after the reading had said, yeah, you know what, I didn't care for that. It just, there was nothing in it for me. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
You always get what you need to hear, and what your guides and angels want you to know. From Marina and I, for sure, you are getting a really comprehensive and good information to carry you forward on your path.
Absolutely.
And in this energy, how do you ground? How do you ground in this crazy chaotic energy? Say you're running around and you're running from here to there to there to there, and you never, for some reason, everything's smashed together and things went awry in a few places and you didn't even get to eat. But you're moving along and you feel like, well, I need to ground. Well, the first thing you can do is do the breath work, do the 3 breaths, or just keep breathing. Or even if you want to chant Om, it's a good way to regulate your breath. Take the deeper breath, chant, and then, do this cycle, keep doing it. But what you're doing is you're settling yourself down into that calming frequency of that source energy. But also,
thank you, Tea Garden Chicken. She says both of these ladies share great readings. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you. Thank
Check
you.
is in the
So,
mail.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I think it's really important in this energy to really sit down and ground. And I mean, take a moment if you can to actually sit down for a minute, because
Yes.
there's something about putting your feet down on the ground while you're sitting down, and really calm space to pull it all in,
Yeah.
and calm space to pull that beautiful golden white light in. Surround yourself with light and call in any guides and angels to help you that you want to. And, take that moment to ground and feel that grounding. And even when I was running around doing this on the go and not stopping, I was doing it in the car,
Yes.
driving to the post office to mail an order from the store that somebody bought. I had a nonstop day like that, but I
Yes.
took that opportunity to run light, ground in, even though I'm in a moving car, and it did help. But this
Yes.
frenetic energy is still there. It's still,
Yeah, it is. And I think it feels like it's going to get better. It feels like it may still remain, as you say, frenetic. We're just going to be able to deal with it a little better. It's just
yeah,
going to become a little more comfortable. But a lot of us are feeling that it almost feels like affirmation in terms of the things that we've been saying. We've been had, and we're, we did. A lot of us had some self doubt and different things, and we weren't, things weren't going the way that we thought and whatnot. Now it's almost like confirmation.
yeah, for sure.
Confirmation that
Yeah,
we were.
definitely,
Yeah. And
definitely.
Amy, during the messages for Lightworkers shows, we don't do any readings. I hope you'll stay and hear the rest of the message. But yeah, we don't do readings during this show. We're basically sharing messages for Lightworkers, and the messages that our guides have shared with us, and we just pass them along. So, but I'm glad you're here, and I hope you stay.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely. So, yeah,
yes,
this is one of those time periods I think that we're experiencing upgrades, uh, recalibrations. There is a lot of there's a lot going on in these energies that are,
yes,
and you can't even put your finger on it. You can't even box it in, but
yes,
it's huge. And I think
yes,
you're right about that. It is a part of the catalyst for the big thing coming.
yes,
Because wouldn't it be, wouldn't it make sense that we're shifting into these higher frequencies more and more and more, and then boom,
yes,
what doesn't align can't stay.
exactly. Yeah, it does. It's like we're going through the closet,
And
and we're
throwing out
going
the
through our
old.
clothes and saying, "Does this fit? Nope, gone." You know, this. Oh yeah, okay, I'm still okay. Goes back on the shelf. Yeah.
I like the analogy.
So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. And we need to do that, right? We need
yeah,
to do that so that
we
that,
do.
that we can make room for all the good things that are going to be coming in. So yeah.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
Laura Hammond Davis says your thumbs up aren't registering. I think if you click on the refresh, I hope that'll change it. So yeah. But
Hopefully.
otherwise, oh, she says worked. Perfect.
Okay, good,
Perfect. Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're, yeah, if your browser's lagging a little, you need
Yes.
to refresh.
Yeah.
And
Hello, Anita K.
it
Yes.
is an exciting time to be here, because when else, I mean, have we ever experienced this kind of thing on a massive scale, even in our community, where you're feeling a certain way and every single person does, a way that you maybe wow, what's going on?
Yes.
And you can all identify this
Yes,
is pretty big
it
when it
is.
is that massive. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're all kind of also using the same language when
Yeah.
we're describing sort of how we feel,
Yes.
right? And yeah.
Yes.
And Book had mentioned that yeah, sleeping more than 45 minutes never happened, but now sleeping occurs in spasms. Yes. And my dreams are combative. Anyone else's dreams and sleep screwed up for no clear reason.
Uh, yeah, my husband, he couldn't sleep last night. His brain kept circling around ideas and things, and he got
Yes.
up at 4 in the morning. He couldn't even. So
Yes.
yes, yes, it's happening to other people
Absolutely.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I had the other morning I woke up and I distinctly remember waking up, and of course you all know about my necklace, right? I was clutching this necklace and I said out loud, I have to remember this. And
yeah.
then it was
Mm,
gone. So I thought, okay, well, whatever it was, it's in here and it's going to come out.
yeah.
But yeah, so we've got it's exciting. It's an
It's
exciting
exciting.
kind of feeling. As much as
It,
it might feel a little anxious, but it's an exciting anxious.
it is, and it is a kind of
Yeah.
anxious kind of feeling because it's frenetic energy makes
Yes.
you get, you
Happy.
are a little anxious, but it's not anxious in a bad way. But uh, I think what is exciting about it is, it's bringing change within you and within the world.
Yes.
And that's the exciting change to see what's going to come out of all of this.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
what are we going to
Exactly.
be experiencing after all this? And you may be very well be right that this may be the new norm,
Yes.
or that eventually this will become very easy to work through with,
Yeah.
to be in, or to be.
To be. To
Because
be. Yeah.
to be, because it is a higher level of connectivity. That's for
Yep.
sure. I know that for sure. It really
Totally.
is. And
Yeah.
um, so
Yeah.
that in itself is kind of exciting, right? Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
and I,
And Anita Kay said, yeah, I've been hearing conversations in my sleep, but I never remember anything.
it's okay. Eventually you
Right.
will remember what you need to remember, but those
Yes.
conversations, sometimes I wake up and I am having a conversation and I'm saying it out loud to
Yes.
to my guides and angels. And then all of a sudden I'm awake and I hear myself saying the words out loud,
Yes.
but I don't know, I can't remember what we were talking
Yes. Yeah.
about.
What context?
Yes, what context? I might have
No,
heard.
put the broom down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't worry, it'll show up
Yeah.
when you need it. You didn't lose anything that you needed to
No.
remember, because they don't design it that way.
Yeah.
Our system's set up that when you need it, your
It will
information,
come. It will come. Yeah.
it'll come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Jerry. And Carl, no, this is Messages for Lightworkers. We don't do readings during the Messages for Lightworkers show. You should know that. You were here last week and asked the same question. But you, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, and Stormy
Stormy
says,
would
I
too.
thought I heard singing in my ear the other day. It worked for
Yes.
me. Yeah, yeah. You can.
Yes.
I've heard singing. I've heard
Yeah.
other, like, conversations. I've heard a
Yes.
whole bunch of weird stuff, and I think, is that my husband's TV? But it isn't, because something else is going on up there. There have been some pretty weirdo things that have gone on, and I have to tell you, it reminds me of when I had, maybe 3 months back, I had a session, one of those regression sessions where
Hi,
you,
Maureen.
quantum healing.
Yes.
And I went in and I heard this background noise. And I said, "Do you have a radio on?" I said to the gal. do you have something running? Because I'm supposed to be in
Yes.
hypnosis, blah, blah, blah. And she says, no, let's just forget about that. And she's trying to guide me back. And sure enough, I got the video and I collected the part where this guy is talking. And you can hear exactly what he's saying, who he, you can kind of get who he's saying it to. And it's a big, long conversation. It's recorded on there.
Yes. Perfect.
It's like,
Perfect.
and yeah, I was talking to Arthur about it, and he said the same thing that I thought, that I just tuned into that like a radio station,
Yes.
tuned into that. But that it actually recorded was the weird thing.
Yeah, remind me one day to tell you the story of, me trying to get into a past life when I think I was 17, 18, and a friend of mine
Wow.
and I were fooling around. Yeah, and we decided that that we were on the old cassette tape. We were going to record me taking her through a meditation and
Oh,
regression,
right.
and
You
she was
guys were
doing it to me.
advanced as kids.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And on mine, when she was putting me under whatever, as I started to walk down the stairs and I got to a door, and there all of a sudden a very distinct male voice was on the tape, and it said, "Don't go through that door." And I goosebumps just thinking about it.
I'm getting goosebumps hearing about it.
And we ended up playing it back, and it's like, okay, are we both crazy? We're both hearing the same thing. I ended up taking it to one of the professors at the University of Calgary, who was going to, do a little bit of research on it, because I said, we did nothing. We did nothing. There was nobody in the house except her and I.
Yeah.
So, what is this? Yeah. So, yeah,
This guy,
when you're hearing that,
yeah, and I mean, this guy sounded like he was from Chicago. He had this accent, and he's talking about some kind of contract and blah blah blah. Blah. And I mean,
yes,
it was crystal clear.
yes,
So
yes.
I mean, and he even said somebody's name, and I googled it. I googled the name, and it's somebody that is actually in Cairo, in Egypt. The whole name, yes,
Oh
a
my God.
professor, somebody who he would be doing business with or doing things with, and he's some kind of agent. And it was all recorded on there, and it feels like that. I mean, you can't make this
That's
stuff up.
like a remote viewing.
I think yes, I think he was alive. I just tuned into him, and she is alive. And for some reason, I'm tuned into that whole thing. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
There must be some reason, because
Yes.
that's what I got. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Because you guys know when you're in meditation, or when you're doing channeling or all that kind of stuff, that it feels very much like turning on the radio
yeah,
and looking for a station, right? So you're kind of going slow, and you get the static, and then you hear a little something that sounds familiar, but no, that's not it. So you keep going
yeah,
until you tune in.
yes,
And then, yeah, you can stay on that channel. And if it starts to go a little wonky, well, you can go to another frequency, right?
yeah,
That's what we're doing when we're doing all this, is we're just getting into the different frequencies.
yeah, for
And
sure.
there's nothing scary about that. It's
No,
uh, yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
true. It's true. And
yeah.
I have to say, um, none of that scares me. It doesn't scare me to hear things. It doesn't. It
No,
just feels normal. And
yeah,
even that guy. Now, the gal who was giving me the regression, she was startled by it, and I think she had kind of a Christian-y kind of background, and it
yes,
kind of she did was like kind of like,
yeah,
anyway, she thought it was kind of weird. But I had that because I actually have taken the course, or I'm almost finished with the course of quantum healing,
Oh,
taking people through.
yay!
Yeah. So it's something that I can do, but I wanted to experience it before I actually was, was a practitioner for anyone.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, that was quite an experience.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah,
Wow.
my higher self was coming through, giving me the. There were some interesting things that came out in that, but there also is a sense of you that says, "Well, wasn't that just me talking?"
Yes,
I mean, there is that sense, but of that. So I think some people might, who
yes,
are channelers, who are people that do tune in, even at us, we might feel a little not let down, but it's not like you're channeling some entity that comes through you in regression. It's you
yes,
talking.
yes, yes, Chris Cassidy. That what? Yeah, that's Dolores Cannon,
Yes. And
and
yeah.
yeah,
So
and
it,
they're amazing, amazing sessions. They give you so much information,
I had a lot,
and
and I
yeah,
still haven't gone back and really looked at it all.
yes,
There's so much, so much. I
yeah,
was kind of narrowed in on that guy talking.
yes. Well, I would too. That's that's where I would go. Absolutely. Yeah.
What? I mean,
So
what when you connect to somebody, there has to be a reason. And I was
yeah,
just, trying to follow the threads of that and what that was all about. But whatever it was, she would. This person was some kind of university scholar, professor, or something. So, yeah, it was all pretty interesting. But
yeah.
yeah,
I do
it's
remember.
funny how things happen in your world, and sometimes you're meant to follow those threads and go down those little journeys that lead
Yeah.
you to other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just be aware of those things.
Hmm.
Um, there was several times today, wherever I was in the house, I swear I could hear my cell phone alarm,
Oh,
or the time alarm going off. And I knew that I hadn't said anything, but it was so persistent that I have to, walk in my bedroom and look at it and go, no, that's not what it is. It's not buzzing. And at one point, I I muted the computer because I thought, what is that sound that I'm hearing? I'm hearing something going off.
yeah.
So yeah, we're
I had
tuning
all
in.
that kind of stuff. What you're talking about, it's almost like your clear audience, the
Yes,
outer hearing from your ears part, not the
yes.
the mind text. But that seems to be coming online more, and that you're hearing these random things that,
Mhm.
maybe now they don't make sense, but you're flipping around tuning in and don't even know it to these different stations.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one day it will make sense.
Yeah,
It
one
will
day.
make sense.
Yeah.
And we're not here by accident at this
No,
time.
no.
We're here for a reason, and part of being part of this light worker community is that we are all connected. We all are the I am in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
great I am.
yeah.
So we now have kids that were born 20, 25 years ago. Some of those indigo children they're getting ready to expand. They're getting ready to kind of come into their own.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of us are here in order to clear that space, to make that transition for them um, easier, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
yeah, so that they don't have to go through some of the learning lessons that maybe we had to go through.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. And they're going to be once they're on board, once they're online, they're going to be joining us. And
Yeah.
it is going to be a very powerful energy of change.
For
You know,
sure.
it's the age of Aquarius. If you ever wonder, Google age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
That's when we start to be more humane, loving, compassionate, caring towards each
Yeah.
other, where we start thinking in terms of we instead of me. Yeah, that and it's happening. We can feel it. It's happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's a wonderful thing that all of these shifts or changes are happening in our lifetime.
Yes.
Because I mean, here,
Yeah.
here we are. We've been on this light worker journey, this
Yes.
enlightenment journey in a conscious way from like the beginning. And so
Yes.
here we are finally at the, at our, I'm going to call us middle age.
Yes. Of course. Yes. Yeah.
At our
We're
middle age. Because I mean, aren't we going to live to over 150? So I mean,
any anything is possible, and you're only as old as you think you are. So
exactly, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think everything that is happening in this lifetime now, this dramatic change, this
Yes.
dramatic shift, it reminds me of when they had the Industrial Revolution. It all happened so fast in that span of 50 years. Well, here's another span of 50 years. It's going to be the shift of enlightenment
Yep.
happening, and we're on the front end of that in some way.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Exactly. We're clearing the way.
We're
We
clearing the
are.
way.
And yes, Play Love Remember says, I feel very uncomfortable writing the me word. Um, it doesn't feel quite as good to say it as it once did, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's and that's because our thinking has shifted from the singular,
yeah.
you know, it's all about me, to include others, and so yeah, we
Yeah.
we naturally are starting to defer to the other, right? And
Except
that's a good thing.
except when it comes to your own nurturing and care.
Yes.
Think of yourself as your sacred
Yeah.
vessel and your sacred soul connection.
Yes.
That nurturing time is primary, period. End of subject. That's primary. Like put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you assist anyone else. Because
Exactly.
so, and
Yeah.
that's not even a me. That really is you in universal consciousness, you in that connection to all that is. And you
Yes.
can't connect to others till you're in that state of connection yourself in that way, that unity consciousness way. So, yeah.
Ah, Spacey Angel, thank you. She says, I consider you as part of my unofficial wise elder lady collection.
Oh, very
Thank you.
good. As it should be.
Yes.
Because I mean,
Yes, absolutely. We're
hopefully you get to this age with wisdom and you have
yes.
things to impart, right? And
Yes.
yeah, and I think everyone does that life experience and what you've learned about how life works and
Yeah.
ways to flow gracefully through it all without, um, you know, without suffering.
Yes. Yeah.
The
And
whole suffering thing. And I have to say, I do have um, I do have something to say about the whole suffering thing. Again, I just want to say this isn't a planet of suffering. I know some people have turned it into that or claimed that about it. But really, the enlightened view is it's just something we decided to go through to see the contrast. And if you are understanding your reason for everything and you understand why you're doing it,
yeah.
there is no suffering. But and in fact, there I am again. So and in fact, you're really
Oh, you're cutting out, Val.
you're context of thinking of is so good about this, that people have written down isn't exactly correct. Everything is suffering? No, Buddha, no.
Yeah.
Buddha meant, and I talked to him and he said he didn't mean it that way. He's saying you will be in a suffering state if you grab onto everything and have attachment and do not allow for don't put expectations on things. And then you have disappointment. Don't attach to the outcome of things. Don't attach to things. And you will not have suffering. That's what he was really trying to say. But somehow, just like the Bible, it got twisted.
Yeah. And Chris Cassidy said, Haruki Murakami said, pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional.
Thank you. Very nicely said. This is exactly right. What is that? The pain of separation, the pain of regret, the pain of, all of these things are there to experience. Suffering is optional.
Mm-hmm. It is. Look for the lessons. And, it's one of the ways that I tend to look at it instead of thinking, the things I've suffered, the things I've seen, you don't know. And right. There's no benefit in that. However, when there are unpleasant things that come up or when there are challenges, not only is it an opportunity to learn, but it also helps you to get a little more of an understanding when it comes to the emotion part of it, so that when you encounter someone who is going through the same thing, you remember that emotion, you remember how it felt, and you're in a much better position to be able to assist them, to help them, so that you can truly mean it when you say, oh, I have a pretty good idea of how you feel.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That's right.
That's how we learn different things. It's hard to, if you've never empathized with anyone, it's hard to understand the concept of empathy. Yeah. So you don't realize it when it is being shared with you. It doesn't feel like anything.
No, very true. Very true.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. That is true. And oh man.
The things that we learn. If I could go back to my younger self, I would say, listen, all of this, fantasy.
Yeah.
Fantasy. This is, it's an illusion.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Here we are getting all caught up in drama and all drama. And it isn't even something that you don't take it with you. You don't, it's, and that shows you how illusionary it is. You don't take it with you. What do you take with you? Love.
Yes.
Not the clothes on your back either.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's, it's just, it's interesting, the things that were so important back then, that now
life was going to end because of this X, Y, and Z, or what is happening to my life because of blah 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 blah.
And he said he was going to call me by Friday night, and it's Saturday, and he never called.
And my coworkers excluded me from X, Y, Z. What am I going to do? I'm excluded.
It's, hey, all right. Yeah, we place I should say, we shift our priorities from the mundane, the unnecessary, right? So that now my focus is more on being kind, on being generous, on being understanding, on showing compassion, and all those things that that are, yeah, love based, that are feeling based. They're
Yes.
not based on money or
Yeah.
possessions or anything else. They're
Yeah.
based on feeling.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing. And the illusionary drama stuff that is there to trigger you or to have angst over, you realize after you get to this age that it was a no thing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was,
He didn't call you on Friday night. You're still here to talk about it. You didn't die. Right?
so
Yeah, you now have a story to tell.
yeah, exactly. So uh, it's just a funny thing when you have a different perspective. So a
Yes.
broader perspective, a way of looking at everything. When they say this too shall pass, they're not a kidding.
Exactly. Yeah.
You'll see the bigger and greater picture, and it'll all seem insignificant.
Yeah.
Or you'll look at things and you'll imagine, look at your accomplishments, look at where you've come from to where you
Yeah.
are now. Those are all amazing benchmarks for you to look at. And
Exactly.
how often do we actually go back and look at that instead of going back and looking at things, negative
Yes.
things or whatever?
Yes.
Don't relive the negative. Look at your accomplishments or how far you came.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And Laura, that's so true. She says, I'm over 60, and what I have come to know is everything will work out. Maybe not how you wanted it,
Yeah,
but it will work out.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Exactly. That's faith in the universe. And it's that first card that you pulled out about,
Yeah,
divine order,
yes,
right?
divine order. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything happens in divine order. Everything is orchestrated
Oh,
in a
thanks, Lori.
beautiful way. And the connectivity of everything, the
Yes.
threads and the way we weaves through. Later, you can go, oh, look at that. If I hadn't this and I didn't that and I
Yes.
didn't blah, 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 I wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Then you can see how powerful that is. Or I wouldn't have met so and so, or I would,
Yes.
whatever it is, things show up in front of you. And, try saying yes to more things than you might and follow those threads down, and you might see
Totally.
crazy things happen. But,
Yep.
uh,
Totally. Absolutely. So when things happen, you you lose your job. Totally unexpected, you
yeah,
lose your job. Chances are spirit has got something lined up for you. And if they didn't remove you from that situation, you're not really you would not be overly enthusiastic about a change, right? Because
exactly.
people generally don't like to change. We like things the way
Exactly.
they are, right? We
Yeah,
like
you
the
do.
known.
Yeah,
So in order for you to receive what the universe is going to bring in, sometimes they have to take you out of that situation very
yes.
quickly and abruptly. That's why, I've been working for this company for 19 years. They love me, I love them. What do you mean I'm fired?
Exactly.
Right?
And
Boom,
those
boom.
sometimes
Yeah.
those boom quick opportunities
Yeah.
that happen like that are the best
Yeah.
thing that ever happened. I
Exactly.
just have I have nothing but amazing stories to tell about that. And it did happen to me one time when I worked
Yes.
for a company. It was kind of like I transitioned from one thing to the other because a friend had me come over, but I really didn't like it, and I didn't really. I was not
Say
going
it.
to be there very long. I knew that for sure. And I have to say, it got me off my laurels and had me doing, and then I went to the best job I ever had. So there you are.
Yes.
So I think, all of this is, part of the journey and learning
Yes.
all of that. And I have to say, it is something that builds character
It does.
and has you realizing, you'll survive any of that and you don't have to worry about it. It's
Yeah.
just going to flow how it flows. And if you use that Buddhist philosophy of don't attach to any of it
Yes.
and have no expectations, it's not a suffering. You go, oh, that happened. Oh, okay. I'm going to go down and get my unemployment. Whatever.
Excuse me.
You don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're not in bad shape, but
No.
yeah.
And Barb P says, I'm wondering why some of us older people, 70 plus, have been awakened at this time. Because we have the experience that we have accumulated over
Yeah.
the time that we have been in Earth school is the experience that is necessary at this point in time.
Exactly.
Right? It's we've gone through the, oh my God, is he going to call me?
Yeah.
Or yeah, my coworkers don't like me. You know, I don't have a dress to wear to that party. We've gone through all that, and we can see how unnecessary it is.
Yes.
And that's why we're coming online now.
Exactly.
To be able to assist the younger ones that are coming in, or we can say, listen, you know, you don't have to, it's not the end of the world, right? Don't attach.
And
Don't
that's
attach to that.
everything you were saying, Marina, is so timely and really important. Is that a lot of people in our community have now shifted their consciousness so much that they don't even ask, well, does he love me? When's he going to show up? When's my divine, you know,
yes,
twin flame or whatever? I mean, all these things are questions that make you feel powerless, like you don't have the power to bring in what you want and what you need. You do have the power. You don't have to say, when is he gonna? Just ask for it, call it forward. And if that's what you want. But one important thing to note is your level of enlightenment is the level of enlightenment that you're going to bring in. So you want to open up and be ready to receive that. So.
Yeah. Barb, if you have listened to Val and I, if you have listened to this show more than once, it's because you are a light worker, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, so, you know, take that, wear that badge with pride. Yes, I'm a light worker. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And I mean, it's not like you have to go out and do readings for people.
No.
Just keeping a beautiful frame of mind, keeping your energy high, creates ripples on the pond. And everywhere you go, people are going to be lifted up by that frequency that you hold. Absolutely. It is that simple. It's not even a conscious going around saying, I'm this. It's just living in that love and that beautiful energy, keeping your energy high, Barb. So, you know,
totally.
Yeah. You know,
totally.
If you're resonating and you've been here listening, you're a light worker, because nobody's going to sit through this and not, you know, if you don't resonate with it, you're
yes, exactly. And here's a new name, Jason Lightholder. Welcome. Yeah. And Celtic Seer, hello. Thanks for joining us. We've got some lovely, lovely people who have tuned in. Excellent. And who are spending part of their afternoon with us. Yeah. Oh, and Barb P said, thank you for the information. My first time here. Well, we hope you'll come back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We hope you'll come back.
And you know, this at least is one place you could come for support. And we always pull through what the guides want us to talk about, the guides and angels who started messages for light workers.
Yes.
And so sharing that, we know we're sharing a message that all of you need to hear, or they wouldn't have given us the information. Exactly. Yeah. So just
we don't filter it.
Yeah, we don't filter it. They tell us, we do, you know, present it.
Exactly. That's just it. And Stormy Witch NATO says, I'm also new to this. Well, welcome.
Oh, good.
Welcome, welcome. This is a lovely community of like-minded people who are very, very supportive. And one of the things that I really like about this community is we don't have any queen bees.
No.
Right. Absolutely. This is a community,
Equal
and we,
playing field.
yes,
We're
yeah,
all together, shoulder to shoulder. Uh,
yes,
there
yeah.
is no guru.
No, no, there is no leader saying, well, this is how you have to do
Yeah.
it. And
Oh,
why do you have to do it? Because I said so. Right. No,
yeah. No, no,
that's not what we do here.
that's not.
So
Everyone is empowered. Everyone is
yes,
sovereign, and everyone is
yes,
here, learning how to stand in that sovereignty and
yes,
in that beautiful love and unity consciousness that you are already.
yes,
That you already embody it. And
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So everybody has their own special talent
yeah,
that they are sharing with everybody else. And yeah. So, all right, Val,
exactly.
we're at 55 minutes, but
Yeah, yeah.
before we let these lovely folks go on with their day, what have you got happening on your channel over the next little while?
Uh, well, actually, it's not actually on my channel, but catch me tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 Eastern on Arthur Is Your Mind. He and I will be giving a Q&A, live Q&A, and we did sell out for the live, so, the live
Perfect.
event, but we have good news. We are going to be holding a live event every month, and you can, so we'll schedule that out and you can sign up for those, but there'll only be a certain limited number of people who can be at every event. So,
And
uh,
that's fabulous because
yeah,
then you're dealing with a smaller number of
it
people.
is.
That
Yeah,
means that everybody gets a reading from Val and from Arthur in that time allotted. That's your time. You can ask as many questions in
yes,
that time.
yeah,
So it's not just a quick, you know, 1 or 2 card pull. You're going to get a
yeah,
lot more information.
yeah,
So absolutely,
yeah. No,
absolutely go ahead and yeah, get yourself into one of those.
thank you, Marina, for that. And there is a lot of synergy that comes together when Arthur and I are together, just as when
Yes,
Marina and I are together. It's the same kind of thing. So it's a beautiful, energetic flow.
it
Um,
is.
so, but thank you for that. And my gosh, the show went by fast.
It did.
It's
It
fun.
did. Like, choom.
Ka-choom. And now I
Yeah.
got to get off, and I have half an hour before my members meeting to find my old speaker, plug it in, and see if it'll work.
If it'll work. Yeah, perfect. And you guys, I'll be on at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time tonight. I'll be on Cleo's channel as we do Golden Girls. And join me tomorrow at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time when Miss Linda G is going to be joining me.
Oh,
So yeah,
good.
looking forward to that.
Excellent.
So all right, we will thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here, Val. A pleasure
A
as always.
pleasure. A
As
pleasure. Always.
always. Yeah. And come back next week, same time next week. We'll still be on my channel. There you
Yes.
go.
Okay. Bye,
Take care,
everyone.
everyone. Bye
Take
for
care.
now.
Bye for now.